Super fanboy guy. Do, 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 do.
Hello, people of the YouTube universe. This is Brandon, also known as Super Fanboy Guy. And as you can probably tell by the name of this video, this is going to be the commentary edition of the first match that I actually played in the Versus System online tournament, the Bring Your Own Set Alter Ego. And so this is the first time that I'm doing something like this where I'm providing a commentary for the match that I participated in. This is the first match that I played because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I got to buy the first round. So this is actually technically round 2 of the tournament. So I'm going to be playing against the Brotherhood Acolytes deck, and I did a previous video where I revealed that I'm going to be playing the Warbound deck. So I will leave a link in the description of this video if you want to check out me talking about the Warbound deck and what some of the cards do. Also, if you want to view the non-commentary version of this game, I will put a link in the description as well for the other YouTube channel that it's on. It's actually hosted by the Versus System Collective. Aaron Mead has his own YouTube channel, so I decided to put that on him to help his channel. But I thought that I do a commentary version for my channel, so that's where we're at with that. So before I get into the commentary, I just want to make a couple of notes really quick. And I just want to say that this was the first time that I really used Octagon in the interface, so you'll notice that I'm not really familiar with the shortcut keys yet. So in this video, you'll see me like right clicking and trying to navigate through, trying to put the certain functions on. But I've been playing Octagon now for a little bit, so I kind of got used to what some of the shortcut keys are. But so you'll see in the video that I keep right clicking and trying to put either counters on my character cards or stuff like that. So I just wanted to make that note really quick. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my first game. Okay, so my opponent decides to take the second initiative. So I go ahead and start by drawing my 4 cards. And I look at my hand, it's Hero Whim, Imperial Dreadnought, Warbound to the End, and Hulk Smash. So what I decided to do with this hand is, I don't think it was good enough to keep, so I decided to mulligan, because I thought I can get something better, which I feel like my hand is significantly better at this time. So we go ahead and get started. I draw my 2 cards, so I was really lucky to draw a Mastermind here. And, that's obviously going to be the first thing that I do this turn. So yeah, I was very fortunate to get him on the first turn. So Mastermind, in case some of you don't know, you can activate and discard a whole card and draw 2 cards. And then you can activate him, bounce him back to your hand, but you can only do that during the combat phase. So I obviously set a Trouble with Dinosaurs. You always want to set your plot twist. I typically try to set my location cards whenever I get them first because, you're obviously going to use your locations at some point in the game. So now it's my opponent's build. He sets his resource and he does nothing. So I decide to just activate the Mastermind right now just to draw 2 cards, just because I wanted to get that value off of Mastermind while I could. So he didn't have a 1-drop this turn, so we go to his initiative now. So we draw 2 cards. I draw Trouble with Dinosaurs and a 5-drop Hulk. Now, I would say drawing a 5-drop Hulk wouldn't be good, but since I have Mastermind, it was good to have another discard fodder for Mastermind. So what my opponent does is he reveals 2 resources to play Amelia Vought for free. And then he recruits the Chrome that he reveals, and he places a card from his hand into his resource row. I decide to place in my resource row the She-Hulk Smash. And now what I do here is I try to activate Mastermind to try to get a 2-drop. So I do that, and I draw 1, and I unfortunately miss my 2-drop this turn. But so it's not the end of the world, but it would have been nice to hit at least Meek or Rick Jones. My one of those 2-drops I have in the deck, so it would have been nice. But I'm going to take a little bit of damage here. Now he decides to activate Planet X here, and I don't know if that would be a good idea to do it this early in the game, because I would assume that you would probably want to activate it, during a time when you're attacking one of my characters. So in case if I have a higher defense that you need to stun and then deal damage to me directly, I thought that would be kind of the way that I would play it out. But he obviously my opponent has a different plan. I guess he wants to try to kill me as fast as possible before Hulk gets out. So that was the only reason why I thought he decided to play Planet X so early. So I go ahead and take my damage here. And just I'm going to also pause it and add something really quick too. So if you see my name, Super Fanboy Guy, the 43 and the 7, that shows my life total and the cards in my hand. And my opponent, Nova_EC, is 35 and he has 6 cards in his hand. I probably should have pointed that out at the beginning of the video. And then you see the little, the big red cross right next to it. There's like a box there. That's so I can deduct my life total from the top number. So I probably should have said that in the beginning of the game. So sorry, I forgot to point that out. But okay, so we're going to go to turn 3, which is my initiative. So I draw my 2 cards. And I draw Trouble with Dinosaurs and 5-drop Hulk. So I decided to row, I believe, the Trouble with Dinosaurs. Yeah. So I decided to play that in the resource row. And then I have Hero M, one of my better 3-drops to play. So I go ahead and play him. And it was a good thing that I got another 5-drop Hulk. Because, again, just like with last turn, I'm able to discard him with Mastermind to draw 2 cards. So it's nice when you draw duplicates of Hulk cards while you have Mastermind out. So, or Mastermind Excello, I guess what I should say. But okay, so I play Hero M, and my opponent decides to obviously row his resource for turn 3. And then he plays Jonah Cargo, which is pretty beefy. She's a 6/6, but she does get -1 attack and -1 defense for each face-up resource you control. So it's my combat, and I decided to attack his Crumb because I thought, I tried to get the most damage in as I can right now. So then, I don't know why I decided to activate Mastermind now instead of during the build phase, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But I drawed Imperial Dreadnought and Meek, which is not bad. It would have been nice if I would have had that Meek last turn, but can't always get what you want, I guess. So I kind of assumed that he would probably be attacking my Hero M with Joanna Cargill, and that's what he actually does. So that was what was expected. And then he does the Planet X thing again, which I think that's a little aggressive on his part. But again, maybe he was just trying to kill me before I decide to get Hulk out or something. Maybe that was his plan. So we're just kind of calculating the damage for me here. And then I decide to activate Hiram's effect to remove him. When he gets stunned, you remove him from the game and your Hulks have invulnerability. So, and then he attacks me directly for 2 with Amelia Vought. So then we go to recovery. We draw 2 cards. So I draw Bloodsport and Hulk Smash. And I actually think that wasn't a terrible draw. I mean, I have my 4 and my 5. So it's my 4 or 5 cost character. So I'm in a decent position right now. Plus he's got 2 cost characters that I could stun with Hulk's effect. So he's gonna play Sovereign Superior, and he discards another Chrome, and I believe this is where he gets Anne Marie Cortez, which Anne Marie Cortez, yeah, he gets that, and it's actually a pretty good card against my deck because you can reveal a 4 and have her. Well, actually, probably. With Anne Marie Cortez, he can reveal a card from his resource row, reservist, and I can't play cost with the card that he revealed. So if it reveals a 4-cost character, I can't play plot twist with 4-cost characters. So that's kind of what Anne Marie Cortez does for her effect. And it could be pretty brutal for me if I can't play like, my Trouble with Dinosaurs, or or my Righteous Anger, some of the cards that I have in my hand. But so since I have I'm planning on resourcing I think the Imperial Dreadnought this turn, since it's a location. So yeah, that's what I do here. And I play my 4-drop Hulk to have him get his Gamma counter, obviously. So that way I can try to stun his characters by removing the Gamma counter when he gets stunned. So he decides to team attack with his 2-drop, with 2 of his 2-cost characters. And this is actually a really interesting attack, because if the attack goes through and he has some like attack pumps and he decides to stun my Hulk, I can at least, stun 2 of his characters. The it's a 2-for-1 with me, because I'm going to be stunning 2 of his characters, and Hulk is going to be getting stunned, remove the Gamma counter, and go boom, essentially. But so I think this team attack was a good idea. So this is kind of an example why I thought he should have saved this Planet X, because he could have saved those right now to bump up his team for the team attack. But you know, I don't know what his thought process was exactly, but I would have personally, if it was me, I probably would have saved them. But he declares the attack, and I pretty much say that it's legal. So he plays boot to the head, which he has to replace a reservist to give my Hulk -3 defense. So that's what he plans on doing. So when he does that, I decide to return the Mastermind to my hand with his second effect. So that way, when Hulk gets stunned, and if he's the only character, you stun all characters with cost 2 or less. So I don't know if this was the correct play for me to play Bloodsport from my hand, but the reason why I decided to play this was because I wanted to make him ready. I wanted him to essentially commit to one of his characters, because Bloodsport, it's play if only you control a defending Hulk. Target opponent chooses a team attacker he controls, remove all attackers from the attack, and readies those other characters. So pretty much what it is he chooses a character, he readies the other character, and only one person is attacking Hulk right now. And since it's declared as a team attack, I'm not going to be taking any breakthrough, so I'm only going to be taking the stun damage. So what he actually decides to do here is he decides to, I think he readies his Chrome, or no, he readies his Amelia. That's right. Yeah, so Chrome is attacking Hulk now. And so the reason why I decided to play the Bloodsport too was because I already had another one in my hand. And essentially, I wanted to force him to play another card out of his hand. That's why I played the Bloodsport. Because right now, he would just be getting stunned for 2. So I'm waiting for him to commit more to this attack. So then he throws Homo Superior, which he gets essentially +4 attack, because that's what the card does. And also, I want to note that my opponent this turn forgot to use Chrome's effect to exhaust one of my characters, and he also forgot to activate Anne Marie Cortez's effect. So I think he was just so focused on trying to stun my Hulk that he forgot about it. But that's just an assumption. But anyway, so my plan to make him use another card out of his hand works, so he actually does play the Homo Superior. Which is fine by me. I don't mind Hulk getting stuck, because I'm going to be able to still remove the Gamma counter to stun his Amelia Vought, which I thought was a fair trade for me. So that's actually what's going to happen too. Here, we're just kind of calculating the damage, and I'm looking at my resources to make sure if there's anything I want to play. So just kind of thinking a little bit. So yeah, this is where I removed the gamma counter. He's already stunned his other character. And then he's gonna attack directly for some big damage here. It's I believe it's 14 right now. Unless he wants to add more. No, he decides to attack for 14, that's right. Okay, so now it's turn 5 and it's gonna be my initiative. So I draw Hulk Green King, which is not bad, and Great Arena. Now, Great Arena was a good draw here because I'm gonna show here in a little bit some of the things that I do with Great Arena. One of the things that I like to do when playing the Warbound deck. Okay, so I play that in my resource row. So what I decided to do here is I decided to exhaust his drone at cargo because this is the turn where I'm going to be playing the 5-drop Hulk, and what the 5-drop Hulk is he has like a boost effect to KO a Hulk you control, then you can stun a character with cost 4, which is what I'm going to do here. So just getting a little extra value there. Nothing wrong with that. So it's a way for me to deal with 2 of his characters at once, which is really convenient. And so he's going to set his 5th resource down, but he decides to change his mind and swap the cards. So, and I think his turn 5 is Scanner in this deck. So he decides to first recruit a free Amelia, which is not too bad. And then he plays Scanner, the 5-drop. And this is kind of the reason why I love playing this is why I decided to use the Venom alter ego, because now with he has 5 characters in the front row. So my She-Hulk smash is going to be dealing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage, which is pretty good. So you can kind of see here that I wanted to try to deal damage to him as much as I can. So that's why I decided to attack Chrome here. And so this is where the smackdown begins. So it's I play Trouble with Dinosaurs, which is +7. She-Hulk is +10. Another Trouble with Dinosaurs, which is 7 more attack. And then Hulk Smash, which is another 8 attack. And then I played the Trouble Dinosaurs, another +7 attack. And then Archangel, which I believe is like 50 or 52 damage total. And then what happens? Aaron, the judge, comes out and just kind of adds up everything. And he says 52. Holy crap! Which is 52 is, if you start at 50 endurance with most versus system games, that's like the whole life right there. So I got pretty lucky, but we're just kind of calculating the damage. We're just kind of calculating the damage here and trying to make sure. So he activates Scanner's effect. I don't know if he was trying to find something to, maybe he was looking for a saving grace or a Hail Mary play or something like that. But I don't really know why he activated Scanner. So again, this is more damage calculation. Aaron comes back on, just the double check and double count. So just kind of calculating the damage here, seeing what we can do. Yeah. So yeah, 50 breakthrough total. So after dealing that much damage, I think my opponent decides to concede because I play the Righteous Anger, so that's going to be 13 more attack going in. So that's a lot of damage going in. So he decides to scoop, and I win the first game. Okay, so he decides to take the even initiative again, which is pretty interesting because I would think that he would want to try the odd initiative this time. But yeah, we go ahead and reset the game, you know, shuffle our decks, and we just kind of get ready for that. Now, my opening hand is not very good, so I have to mulligan this. And it's a little bit better, but not that much better until we draw the 2-drop Meek and another Hulk Green Scar. Now, unfortunately, in this game, I don't have Mastermind, so I kind of miss that. But he also doesn't have his 1-drop either, so we go to the next turn. So we draw our 2, She-Hulk Smash and Hulk Smash. So decent draws, I think, because, you know, I have my 4-drop Hulk, so I can start dealing some damage, you know, early in the game. Or not early in the game, when the Hulk comes out, I guess. And he plays his 2-cost character, the Chrome, and I got Meek, so I decided to play him. So now he uses the effect of Chrome to exhaust Meek just because he can. And so he has Chrome attack Meek, and we calculate the damage. We decide how much we're taking. You know, just calculating, doing the math here. And then I take my damage. And I decide not to remove Meek this turn because since it's my initiative next turn, I can use him as an attacker. Then if he gets stunned, then I'll activate his effect. So I got really lucky here, and I drew another Meek, and then I drew my 3-drop. So I got very lucky this turn. So I go ahead and recruit my Hiram, or Hiram, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce his name. So he plays a Joe and a Cargill, which is, you know, it's pretty good for him. So during my combat, what I decide to do is I decide to team attack his 3-drop. And the reason why I decided to do that is because if I stun him back and he stuns my 3-drop, then if he goes to attack with his Chrome on my Meek, then we will both get stunned. I can remove my Meek for his effect, and then he's going to have to lose his Chrome. So that's kind of the reason why I decided to team attack. And I thought in the long term, that was a better exchange for me. That's how I thought anyway. So I go ahead and I declare the team attack into. He says it's legal and I don't need to do anything. So he does decide to stun my Hiram, and I decide to activate the effect. I just kind of put it on the side to show that all my Hulks have invulnerability. And then I don't think it was right for him to attack, but he does anyway because he's losing a character. But again, I guess he was just trying to push for damage and try to be more aggressive against me, and that's kind of why he did that. So he just... And since I get stunned here, I decide to, after taking my damage, I decide to remove the Meek because I already have my 4-drop Hulk ready to go on deck. So we go ahead and go to turn 4. I draw 5-drop Hulk, which is a good draw, and the Great Arena, which is also a really decent draw. Because again, I could do the same trick as I did the last game where I can exhaust the 4-drop Hulk. And I just kind of forgot it was his initiative. I almost built my resource here. But so he plays Sovereign Superior, so I know he's getting his Anne-Marie Cortez. So he reveals the Kleinstock brothers and Spore to play Amelia Vaught. So not a bad turn for him. So I go ahead and play my resource. And then I play Mr. Greenscar himself. And he gets his gamma counter. And then this is where I flip over the Great Arena to exhaust his Anne-Marie Cortez. It's one less attacker. And then we're just kind of taking some damage here. And now it's going to be his attack. So now he reveals for Anne-Marie Cortez. So I can't play any 4-cost plot twist this combat. Or this turn. Yeah, during this combat phase. I can't remember if she's for the turn or for the combat phase, which I guess it doesn't matter anyway. So I'm just kind of checking my resource row to see what I got. And while he's thinking to do. So he decides to swing Amelia at Hulk, which is okay because he's probably got a few pumps. Well, not pumps, but now he has Boot to the Head. He gives him -3 defense, and I assume he's going to activate his location. But he actually plays another Boot to the Head, which is fine. Which puts me to 1 defense. And then he activates the location. I think the location gives +3 attack to an attacker. If I'm not mistaken. And then he flips up Acolytes, which and he plays 2 of them, so he's just trying to get more damage in. And I also forget that Joanna Cargill gets -1 attack, -1 defense for each face-up resource. So that'll be important to note in a little bit. So I calculate the damage. I take the damage. I get stunned, but I give myself the endurance back because I have an invulnerability. But I realized after we played that you could actually press Control F to flip the card. So when you hit the stun function on the software, it actually deducts the life total. So I'll remember that for next time. Just press Control F to flip it face down. So that's an easier way of doing it. And I decide not to remove the gamma counter because next turn, if I draw a card that can stun my Hulk, so like Imperial Dreadnought or Righteous Anger, then I could try to get a little bit more value during my next turn. So that's why I decide not to remove the gamma counter. So then he attacks for 4, +3 attack, +3 more attack, so 10 total. So I take 10 damage here. So I guess he did remember the Joanna Cargill's effect. And he decides not to recover the Amelia Vought, which is really interesting because I think it was fine to keep it in to keep it in play because even though it was my initiative, like he could have, he could have had 1 more attacker, but I guess he didn't want, she was kind of a liability to have on the field because I could just attack into her and do like a bunch of Hulk smashes or Trouble with Dinosaurs. So I think that's maybe the reason why he decided to KO it, it was reasonable, I think. Okay, so we go to turn 5, and I draw another 4-drop Hulk and an Archangel. Archangel isn't bad. So I wrote the She-Hulk Smash in my resource row. And then I kind of do the same trick as last turn where I decide to exhaust his Joanna Cargill. But he thought I chose Anne-Marie Cortez, but I said I wanted the 3-drop because I was going to do the same trick. So I just telling him that we both lose 4 because of the Great Arena effect because I exhausted the 4-drop Hulk. And then I play my 5-drop, stun his Anne-Marie Cortez, which is really important now because now I can play all my plus X attack plot twist cards. So that's why it was important for me to get rid of her. So it's his build. And he's still kind of thinking of what to play and what to do this turn. So he decides to play his 5-drop Scanner. And actually, here he asked me how many pumps do I have this time, and like without telling the exact answer, I just kind of just tell him, yeah, I got enough to do it. So, well, the words were, I think I have enough here to finish you off. So we go to the combat, and I decide to attack his Joanna Cargill. And so I activate She-Hulk Smash with Hulk, with another She-Hulk Smash. And then Hulk Smash. And then I put in the Archangel. So that's 33 damage. So not as much as last game, but it was still a pretty good amount. So he goes to activate his Ruins of Avalon, but I had to remind him that it's only for the plus. The +3 is only for the attacker, so he couldn't use that. So he forgot about that. So which I don't think it would have mattered, because if he stunned me back, well, he was at. She would have gotten -2, would have been 4. If he would have done +3, it would have been 7, which would have, and I had a 10 defense, so it would not have been enough to stun me back. But yeah, so I take the second game of this match, but you know, I maybe may have made a mistake or two playing against them, because you know, like I said, with the blood sport that I played in the first game, but and then I think I made another misplay. I think I should have done something else. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but so yeah, that'll be it for the for round 2 of this tournament. So fortunately, I did get the win, and you know, it was still fun to play. I'm glad I played it. So yeah, that was it for the second round, and you know, getting ready for my third round, or the next round, which would be round 3. So that will be it for this video. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to leave any comments of maybe there's some plays you thought I did wrong in this game, or you know, if you want to leave any comments about anything about this game, let me know. And thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next round.